Hey everyone, Peachy here. I am back on this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. Oh my goodness. I had to come back. Because, well, I had to go when I was doing the other live, because, children. And I knew, you see what I mean? What are you doing right now? Don't do that. Are you full or something? That's what full people do, isn't it? I'm taking it now. Are you gonna eat it?
No.
He's just squeezing blueberries in his hands.
Now I cut the juice.
Okay. See, children, I knew once the interruption started, it wasn't going to stop. So I was like, okay, let me get some food and feed them. Yes, I'm having breakfast straight out the pot because I can't deal with multiple dishes.
Can you put it in the cup, please?
Oh, no, thank you. I will not do that. I will not. I didn't want to deal with multiple dishes, and kids already make a lot of dishes, so I'm just like, I don't need an extra dish to add to that. There's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 around me right now from just breakfast. So yeah, I am back, and I'm back and ready to answer your questions. I'm sorry, I realized after I left, like, okay, we didn't even actually get to do the Q&A part. The Q&A part of the live. So let me pull up some questions here that I actually wanted to answer. Where are they again? That I actually wanted to answer. Oh, there they are. Okay. And we'll get this done. Let's get this done. I'll sit over here so I can see my questions. I'll just go from the most recent to the oldest because there's just so much. So many questions. I'll try to answer mostly fibroid related questions, but I'll answer some other questions as well. Hi there. Thank you so much for, and this is Haya. You see why I can't do Q&As? Baby, you're fine. Sometimes he just starts crying because something happened in Peppa Pig that's just like made him sad. Like he really gets into the story. When they're laughing, he laughs. When they're jumping up in muddy puddles, he's jumping up in muddy puddles with them. Like, you know. So yeah, and if they're like, I remember one time Peppa was like, I think she was scaring George, pretending to be a monster or something like that, and he started crying. George cried, he cried. I don't want to butcher people's names here. Should I even read names? Okay, I'll read first names. You guys know who you are. Heya. I'm not gonna try to, if it has a last name or several, a few names. I just don't want to. I hate when people mess up my name, so I don't want to mess up your name. It's just out of respect. Hi there. Thank you so much for your brave and honest info. I really enjoy your journey. What happened at the end? Which one is this? Would you please tell us how did it go at the end? I think this is the newest. I think what video are they watching? The older video, my labor complications, I suppose. Yeah. Okay, so to answer that, at the end, and that was my first pregnancy with this guy that you see right here. My second pregnancy had a whole other story that I might have to do a whole other video for. But yeah, so his pregnancy, if you watch Labor Complication, I was at the hospital. I was a small hospital, Bonneville Hospital, for those of you who know where that is. And basically, towards the end of that video, I was just waiting. I was in labor since 4 a.m. and it was like 2 something in the afternoon. And basically, my doctor, I think I've done videos on this already, but maybe you missed it. Basically, my doctor said that it was too high risk and she changed her mind. She had previously cleared me for a vaginal birth, but then she changed her mind and she basically said that she's not confident. Sorry, I'm just gonna clean this camera. It looks fuzzy. There, that's better. She's not entirely confident to do it in case I bleed out or something because of the size of my fibroids. Um, you're prone when you have large fibroids. You're more easily prone to bleed out during delivery. So she sent me to Edmonton. I got in an ambulance. My husband followed in the car, and it was a 3.5 hour drive to Edmonton. On the way, I'm still having contractions. Remember, I've been in labor since 4 a.m. So it's a 3.5 hour drive. Contractions are coming. They're getting closer and closer and closer. I'm telling the paramedics that this baby's coming, and they're trying to count the contractions. And unfortunately, I had maybe not so much experienced paramedics or people who didn't really know what they were doing, especially the person that was in the back with me didn't even seem to really understand how labor works because he told me to hold the baby in. And I just thought that was the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard because it's involuntary. The spasms, your muscles, your body starts to spasm, right? Your uterus starts to contract to let the baby out. There's nothing that you can do. You can't hold anything in. If anything, I think it's just a stress of the idea because he told me that they're going to stop and pick up somebody who does delivery in case they need to deliver me on the side of the road. And this is in December, end of December. It was born on the 30th of December. End of December in midwinter, and it happened to be a very cold day that day. So yeah, I think just the stress of thinking about that, delivering in freaking mid cold temperatures, a newborn baby, exposing to them to that right away, it I don't know, maybe something instinctual kicked in and the contractions just stayed. They were close, but they stayed sturdy. The baby didn't come out, thank goodness, until I got to the hospital. When I got to the hospital, they put me in a wait room because they didn't know which doctor was supposed to deliver me, even though my doctor from Bonnyville had contacted them to let them know that you know what, she's coming to deliver. Have everything ready because she has a high risk pregnancy. She's been in labor since 2. All my documents were signed in Bonnyville and they just had to transfer. I don't know. That's what they told me. My doctor told me I don't have to sign anything again because I already signed it in Bonnyville. I'm here in the waiting room. They're making me sign documents, asking me which doctor, by the way, is supposed to deliver you. And I'm thinking, are you guys kidding me right now? I must have been in that. What did I say about the disturbing? No cupcakes. We're done.
Hi.
Okay, so take that out of your mouth and stop disturbing. Thank you. So I don't know how long I was in that wait room, but I was in pain, guys. At this point, I was in excruciating pain because I'm sitting there, my water's still dripping, running out. I can't even get up and go change my pad or anything. Leon, what did I say about disturbing? You want some food?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I was in excruciating pain, and they have me waiting in this waiting room, which I shouldn't even have been waiting in the waiting room to begin with. And for some reason, they thought I was there for a vaginal delivery, when at this point it was supposed to be for a C-section because my doctor had just said she just can't take that risk anymore. So they're thinking, oh, you're fine. You know, sometimes the medical industry, especially if you are melanated, they don't really believe your pain. And I'm calling nurses and saying, hey, I'm not okay. Guys, I've been in labor since 4 a.m. in the morning, but obviously they're not taking me seriously. They're just like, okay, hold on. We'll be right back. We just need to find out this. We just need to. And the next thing I know, they're bringing me forms to fill out. I was livid. I was absolutely livid. Like, how you bring me forms to fill out right now? I've been transferred to have a C-section to get this baby out, right? Anyways, long story short, they, I, I ended up in, they ended up taking me in this room after like maybe it felt like forever, but it must have been like an hour or two in that waiting room. And I kept telling Devin, my husband Devin, that you need to push these people because I had a feeling something bad's gonna happen. Something bad's gonna happen to this baby if they don't take me seriously because this baby has been holding to come out. My water broke at 4 a.m. So there's not even any what is it called, amniotic fluids around enough. I don't know if there's enough amniotic fluids around him. I don't know if he's suffocating. I don't know what's happening. They need to take me seriously. They just weren't taking me seriously, and he's trying to push them. He's trying to push them, and he was doing his very best to get their attention. Finally, they put me in this room, almost begrudgingly, like, oh, difficult patient type of thing, you know what I mean? And as soon as they put me on the room and hooked me up to the monitors, they realized that my baby's heart had stopped beating. Legit, my baby's heart was not beating at all. And then they panicked. I have never seen people run, grown women run as fast as I saw them run that day. Then they started running. And I was like, thinking to myself, why does it take that? You had to hook me up to a monitor to believe that something's wrong? This is what I don't like about Western medicine. How come you don't believe someone's pain? You know, sorry, I'm getting emotional about just thinking about this. It was traumatic. It was really traumatic, if you can tell. Thinking about, Liam, how do people know their bodies best? And I don't like that Western medicine disregards people's own bodies. We are our doc. Your first doctor is yourself. The secondary doctor that you go to see is to just help you, because they are trained to help you in ways that you can't. They're just supposed to assist you and listen to you. But your first doctor is yourself, because you are the one who knows the symptoms. You're the one who feels the symptoms that are going on inside of you. So it really frustrated me, like, how could you almost killed my child? You almost killed my child because of your negligence, because of not believing my pain and what I'm telling you. I don't need to have a medical degree to understand.
But the one with the peanut butter on it, right there. It's
Okay.
right there.
Yes, okay, I'll get it. Sit down though. If you don't sit down, you're not getting it. You don't need a medical degree to understand. You don't need a medical degree to understand that your body's in pain, or when you're in labor to understand that something is wrong. Okay? We're not idiots. We are built with intelligent bodies. Our bodies are intelligent. They tell us when we have pain. They tell us when something is wrong. And if you listen to your body, obviously you can get help sooner than later. But in Western medicine, they don't have a baby. They don't have a preventative approach. They just have a okay. I'm not getting you cupcakes because you're making noise. No cupcakes for you anymore. Oh, they're getting upset. They can hear you making noise. They're not gonna give us anything. So, this kid. I told him that you'll give him cupcakes if he's quiet during my lives. But, anyways, yeah. So they tend to they tend to treat things from a reactionary point, like after the fact. They will watch you almost die and then say, oh yeah, okay, there's something wrong, instead of helping the situation. And they just, maybe they don't have the tools. I don't know what it is. They just don't. The mindset is just so different. It's not a holistic. I don't want to say holistic because there's a lot of stigma associated with that. But it's not a wholesome, a whole. It's not a well-rounded approach. This Western medicine, they're good at fixing broken bones, for instance. But again, that's reactionary. That's after the fact. Your bones are already broken. But there's some things that you can prevent. Like that could have been prevented. My son's heart stopping could have been prevented. But then again, look who I'm dealing with. So that's what happened. Because his heart stopped, then they're like, oh, we have to do an emergency C-section. I'm like, guys, you have to do that anyway. That's why I was rushed here to begin with. But for some reason, now they're realizing they have to do an emergency C-section. And I don't know, some doctor, I don't even remember which doctor ended up doing the C-section. I don't think it was the doctor that I was initially supposed to meet with, because they were just negligent in getting the information they needed to get. Like, they were sent this information hours in advance, and yet they didn't know what they were doing. That really, 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 really just shot my confidence in hospitals and in Western medicine altogether. If I go to the hospital now, it's because I broke my arm or my leg or something that I really can't do myself. Or like what I told you guys, getting an ultrasound. I can't give myself an ultrasound. But am I going to go to a hospital to say, take my fibroids out? My fibroids are large. You can cut them out. No, I am not allowing them to do anything invasive to me if it's absolutely not necessary and not life-saving. I'm not going to. I just don't trust them enough. And I know a lot of this mistrust is growing with a lot of people, because I'm not the only person that's experienced things this way. This kind of medical negligence. I'm not the first person. Women have died, especially women of color have died because of medical negligence, and they're just not taking us seriously. And it's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate that this is what's happening. But anyway, that was a long answer to one question. So I'm gonna move on to the next question. Hey, yeah, if you want to know what happened after I got a C-section, the baby came. He had jaundice, so they had to put him under lights and whatever. And then afterwards, I was like, "Give me my baby. I don't want you to do anything else to my baby." I got my baby, gave him skin to skin, and after a couple of days, I took him home, or maybe 3 days. After 3 days, I took him home, and he has been home with me ever since. I put him in daycare for about 2 months when I had to do a practicum, and that was the most painful thing I ever did. But other than that, he's been home with me. I'm raising my own kids. I am homeschooling them. I do not trust our institutions to do a better job. For someone that has been through these institutions and Liam, cupcakes are not coming. Too much noise. And being disappointed time and time and time again, I am not putting a child of color into these institutions. Okay, with hospitals, unless he breaks his bones or something. But if it's something that I can help, unless he has like pneumonia or something that I can't help. Otherwise, for minor things, I learned my lesson. I'm not taking my kids there for minor things. Minor things, no. We will figure it out here. There's over-the-counter medicine. Now I call 811 or the pharmacist before I say, okay, we're getting up to go to the hospital. Leon, no cupcakes. They're not coming. Because you're doing this. Go downstairs in the basement so we can get the cupcakes. Don't you want the cupcakes? I want them too, so bad, but you keep messing it up. I know, it's sad, isn't it? You're sorry? Okay, so please keep it down. If you want to make noise.
Stop being loud because you excited for being loud.
Do you want to go outside or downstairs?
Stop.
Do you want to go downstairs or outside then, so you can be loud? You can be loud downstairs. You want to go outside? Okay.
Go inside and be loud.
No, don't go inside. Don't go inside here and be loud. You can go inside in the downstairs and be loud. And that way we can get our cupcakes. Because these wonderful people are going to send us cupcakes. If you're nice and quiet.
I found the magical golden.
Okay, let me finish my video, sweetie. Yes. Are you gonna? You're still making noise. Are you gonna come eat your oatmeal?
No, don't eat it.
Are you full?
Yeah, I'm full.
I'm gonna eat it.
I want to go outside.
I'm kind of apprehensive to take him outside because you can go only if you stay in the trampoline. Liam, only if you stay in the trampoline, because I can zip it up and it'll be closed and you can't get out on your own anyways, because he will run into the street. It's a shared backyard and there's no fence. He can run into the street and I don't want that. Go downstairs for now. I'll call you back in 5 minutes. Go downstairs for now. So yeah, that's my experience. That's my experience, and it just reinforced what I already knew, but maybe wasn't quite firm with it. That institutions, they say that they serve their purpose, but you cannot be heavily reliant on them. Anyways, next question is from MP. I only have those initials, MP. Did you notice if any of the vegan food increased the fibroids also? For example, did high sugar fruits or fats of avocado have an effect on your fibroids? I was vegan for 7 years, and unfortunately, I ended up with severe anemia and had to be given the transfusion. Now they are more aggressive. I am willing to incorporate a full plant-based diet, but I truly need to know if fruits, avocado, and some nuts allow the fibers to continue to grow. From your experience, from my experience, no, that has not been my experience. I've been vegan going on over 5 years now, and every time I've gone vegan before. Before this 5 years, I've gone vegan before. Every time I've gone vegan, it actually reduced the size of my fibroids. It reduced my allergies. It made I was diagnosed with asthma as a child. It made my asthma very mild. I did not react to even seasonal allergies as much. So what going vegan does is essentially it naturally allows your body to detox a lot easier and clean itself a lot easier than if you're eating meat. Meat is a high inflammatory food. Dairy is a very high inflammatory food. So when you eat that every day or whenever you eat it, it adds to inflammation. Fibroids thrive. Let me repeat that again for those in the back. Fibroids thrive on inflammation. It's inflammation that they thrive on. It's not the sugars from the fruit that they thrive on. It's inflammation. What happens is when you eat fruits, when you eat sugars from fruits, if there is already inflammation of any kind, yes, sugars can, in a sense, let that inflammation persist or continue, but they do not. Let me stress this again. Fruits do not cause the inflammation. Okay, MP, the fruits are not the cause of the inflammation. The inflammation causing foods you were eating, okay, the inflammation causing foods you were eating, meat and dairy, those are the culprits. Those are what are putting inflammation into your body. And 1 second here. That's what's putting inflammation, causing your body to be inflamed. Because when you eat a high cholesterol diet, it clogs your arteries, it clogs every part of your body. It just, cholesterol and human beings just don't mix. We know this because we get sick a lot from having too much cholesterol, right? We understand this. We just don't understand it from a holistic perspective. We know too much cholesterol will give us a clogged arteries in our heart. We know it can cause heart attacks. We know it can cause things that are related to your arteries being clogged. When your arteries are clogged in your heart, they're clogged everywhere else. So you will have low blood supplies to your joints and have problems like arthritis. That is a result of inflammation. The inflammation is a result of not getting enough blood flow and nutrients into those parts of the body. Even with things like Alzheimer's, a lot of people will refute this, but they're starting right now scientifically, they're starting to realize that there is a gut to brain relationship. And yes, what you eat does affect your brain. Because if imagine anyone who's had a heart attack, that means you are also at risk of Alzheimer's as you get older if you keep eating things that keep clogging your arteries. Because if your heart is clogged, it's one whole system. In medicine, they study these things differently as separate systems, but it's for ease of understanding, and that's what they don't understand. I had a nurse argue with me when I was in hospital, and she was giving me I was getting a what do you call it, an IV for fluids when I was in pain and pregnant, and my legs started swelling up. And the more this fluids were cold, they happened to be very cold, and they were going in very fast. She had them on the fastest speed. They were going in very fast into my bloodstream, and I could feel the pain even at the entry center. I could feel the pain, and I kept telling her this hurts, and she kept ignoring me. No, it's okay. It's only half an hour left. It's only whatever time left, and then you're done. But she was just in a rush to just get it done. You know how in the hospital you're just a number. They just want to get you done and over with. Until my legs started swelling up. And I said to her, "Oh my gosh, my legs are swelling up at this point. This is too much. Please slow it down." You know what she said to me? Those two things are not related. Those are completely different parts of the body. They're not related. Your IV cannot cause your legs to swell up. And I was like to her, I'm not an idiot. I can literally feel the reaction of these fluids coming into me so quickly. I can, you know what I mean? Like intuitively, you know what's causing. It's like you touch a hot surface intuitively. You don't have to go to school to know this is hot. Let me get it off. And intuitively, I could feel that something that was happening to me was causing my legs to swell. And she kept insisting to leave me there, and it kept getting worse until the doctor came in, and I told the doctor, like, listen, this is what's happening. And this doctor, I was lucky, he understood, and he's like, of course. And I told her what the nurse said, and he's like, no, I don't know what is she talking? We're not gonna get cupcakes. Yes, mosquito bite, but we're not gonna get cupcakes if you can.
I'm gonna watch
No,
Mario.
you're disturbing. No, we're not watching Mario. You're disturbing. This is not for watching Mario. This is for mommy to do the video so we can get the cupcakes. Okay? So the doctor was like, I don't know what this nurse is talking about. Of course those things can be related. Of course that can affect and cause swelling in legs because it's an entire whole system. And if one thing in your system is affected, it can transfer and affect something else in your system because everything is working together. This is literally what the doctor said. And I was like, he took it off. He didn't even, he called another nurse, a different nurse, and he's like, take this off. And he took it off, and sure enough, as soon as the IV came out, things started subsiding and getting better. So don't let people tell you that these are different systems. It works differently. Having clogged arteries is not going to affect your brain or any other part of your body. It does, because if one part of your body is sick because of either inflammation or clogged arteries or something, it means that your whole system has been under so much stress and pressure for so long that's the part that's giving up first. You see what I mean? That's the part that's giving up first. That's just saying, I've had enough. So by the time you have the heart attack, your whole system from head to toe has already been under a lot of pressure and a lot of stress. And no relief came. You didn't change your diet, you didn't stop eating what's causing it. So something has to give. And so this is how that works. So a plant-based diet, fruits get a bad rap. Oh, they have sugar. Yes, they have fructose, they have sugar. But that's not what's causing inflammation. We are missing the root cause. Look at what's causing the inflammation first. Anything else is just yes, it might be helping in a way, but I can tell you right now, the fact that I don't eat any animal products at all, any dairy, nothing. When I eat my fruits, I eat fruits like 3 times a day. I eat at least 4, 5, 6 servings of fruits a day. It has never added to growing my fibroids. It has never added to the pain of my fibroids. Oh, this one is dangerous, eh? You are dangerous, aren't you? Yeah. It has never added to the pain of my fibroids. It has never it has never
Now look like the
any of the
mosquito
so any of
bite.
the symptoms that I had before I
I
started.
turned it
bef-
into a guy.
Thank you, sweetheart. So
Now
any
it
can I
can't bite
please
you.
can I please talk, please, sweetheart? The cupcakes were gonna come. Somebody was gonna send cupcakes, but now they stopped. They stopped because
Now
you
it's
came.
a bow
You
tie.
came and you're disturbed. Now they stopped sending. Guys, please send more cupcakes. Please send cupcakes to us. We like the cupcakes. Liam's gonna be quiet, aren't you? You're gonna be
Yeah.
quiet? Yes. Why is
I
your shirt
like
wet?
its tie
Your
bow.
shirt is wet.
Let's see if it works.
So yeah, eating fruits has never caused any of the symptoms, the severe symptoms I had before I went plant-based with fibroids. When I ate meat and dairy, that's when I felt my fibroids swelling up and hurting and just and that at that time they were growing rapidly because I was giving them what they needed, the food that they needed. So all these other things that we talk about, sugar, yeast, whatever, those are things that just aggregate what's already there. They just agitate what's already there. So if there's already inflammation, there's already those fibroids that are growing, then yes, they will kind of sugar, yeast will kind of assist the inflammation that's already there. It's like if you have a cut, you're not gonna put sugar on it, right? If you put salt on it, it gets better. You're not gonna put sugar on it because it's just gonna, turn into an infection or something. But I don't know. That's the best analogy I can come up with right now. I'll try to come up with a better one. But anyways, this is my point. You don't have to stop eating fruits. What you need to stop is eating meat and dairy. People are focusing on the wrong thing. People are quitting carbs. People are quitting fruits and vegetables, things that your body thrives on. Human beings, we thrive on fruits, vegetables, and carbs. Those are the building blocks of our DNA, our genes, not other animals' flesh. That doesn't make any sense. How can other animals' flesh be the building blocks for your body, for your DNA, and for just us being human when there's all these plant-based foods, right? Um, protein. Protein comes from plants. That's the primary source of protein. You know, B12 is a microorganism you find in like well water and in like organic vegetation and soil, and it's not from meat. Okay, there's so many widely accepted and even medically accepted myths about what meat gives you, what plants don't give you. You can be on a high fiber, not high fiber, yes, plant-based is high fiber, but you can be on a high iron, high protein diet while eating plant-based. Very, very possible. I've done a video on this already if you go back. But yeah, a lot of these things is because we are dealing with a Western system that's kind of, by the time our institutions catch up with modern science, with what's actually modern, it's years later. You remember when doctors used to prescribe smoking for stress relief? You see what I mean? Like they used to prescribe the most heinous things. So by the time the institution catches up with the actual up-to-date data, they never work side by side. They're never caught up. Just like even with, look at any institution, the education system, for instance, right? Any corrections, historical corrections that we've made and realized that, oh, okay, Christopher Columbus wasn't a great man after all, like the song says. But in books, it's still there. By the time it gets corrected, like a whole decade has gone by of just the general public starting to understand and do their research and know that, yeah, that was not a fact. That was a lie. And it shouldn't be in history books, right? So just things like that. Keep in mind when you're dealing with any institutions that whatever information they have oftentimes is outdated. That's why the best thing for me, and especially with the medical field, is I only go to them if it's something I can't fix myself. Like if it's a broken bone, I can't fix it myself. Otherwise, things like shrinking my fibroids, I'm gonna shrink my fibroids myself. Okay? But yeah, so basically I hope that answers your question, MP. I really, really hope that answers your question. I'm gonna try to leave a link to this live in
Now it looks like a real guy.
under your comment.
Now it looks like a real
I
guy.
answered your question in this live.
I don't know what this is.
Let's see.
Can you spell this guy?
Spell him.
Yeah.
I just need a link.
This is the
I'm
guy
going-
I was watching.
Yes.
I thought you spell him. The guy I was watching. Spell him. Spell him.
So I'm gonna leave the links to these lives in your under
links?
each comment that I'm answering.
Are these links?
I'll just leave the links so you can come and see it. So Heya, I just left a link for you. MP, I just left a link for you. That way you can see that I did answer those questions. Tosha, Tosha. Well, she says, that's love. He went vegan to save you and the baby. Tasha, thank you so much for that comment. Yes, my husband did go vegan when I was struggling with the pregnancy, and he saw everything that was going on, and we were doing our research to figure out the very things I'm talking about, the inflammation in the body, what causes it, and realizing these inflammation causing foods cause a lot more throughout the body, and like what I was explaining, like by the time you're having a heart attack, for instance, everything in your body is already under stress, and your arteries are clogged everywhere, and it can affect your brain as well. And as you get older, that's how people end up with things like Alzheimer's. And they will never say that because they want people to get sick and fill up these homes, and like it's an industry. That's what it is. So basically, at that same time, my husband's grandfather was suffering from Alzheimer's, and we took a road trip to go see him in PEI, because we live in the West Coast and they're from the East. So we took a road trip to go see him, and my husband got to see firsthand what Alzheimer's looks like and how devastating it is. And just that combined with us doing a lot of research, he realized, like, you know what? He doesn't want to end up getting it as well, because even based on our DNA test, it shows that he is susceptible genetically to getting it. But then obviously from a genetic perspective, when people say that you're genetically, like something is genetic, it's not that 100% you're gonna get it. It's usually, from the research I've done, 1 to 3% likelihood that you will get it, right? But if you keep your diet under control, you exercise, you can actually skip that. You can, like how we say, breaking generational curses. You can break genetic curses. You can break genetic illnesses if you keep your diet. If you eat the right diet and exercise. And once he realized this, that combined with obviously not wanting to watch his wife suffer and his children suffer, is what helped him to decide to go vegan. So So yes, I just wanted to add that little factor that it wasn't just that. Yes, he does love us for sure, and he loves the baby, but there were a lot of other things as well. People that he loved that he saw deteriorate and die, because of just being misinformed. Just these general socially accepted and medically accepted myths, because we're still very behind with actual modern research on plant-based food versus eating meat and dairy. If you want to get more information, read the China study. It's an extensive study on how meat affects the body versus how plant-based food or vegan food affects the body. Extensive data, profound. Like, I can't even imagine that today with these studies out there. But that's how institutions work. I mean, it takes a long time for people to catch up. Okay, next question. All right, how much have you shrunk your fibroids before pregnancy? So before pregnancy, they shrunk. It's which pregnancy? The first pregnancy or the second pregnancy? Let me reply to you. I'm not sure which pregnancy you're referring to, but I'm guessing because this is 1 month ago that you left this. Sorry, I'm just getting to these questions now. I have 2 kids. It's crazy. So if it's the second pregnancy, how much had I shrunk them? I don't really know, to be honest, how much they shrunk. I feel like they had just started shrinking a little bit, because they had just started shrinking a little bit, but then I got pregnant, and pregnancy will make your fibroids grow. So they grew again while I was pregnant. Before I got pregnant, I like I mentioned before, I went through a procedure called a uterine artery embolization, and that's basically, like I said, they take a little microscope, a little camera, and put it through your arteries all the way down to your uterus, and put 2 little beads in the arteries that are directly feeding blood flow and food and whatever to that fibroid. So I experienced my fibroids calcified at that point within, like, maybe I think it happened within a month or so of getting that procedure. They calcified. So how much they shrunk after they calcified, I'm not sure, because I got that procedure in March of 2020, and then I got pregnant in May of 2020. I think that's right. Yes. So I didn't really, that time, 2 months, was not enough time for me to see how much my fibroids had shrunk. So that's why now I feel like I am starting the journey, almost like starting the journey again after I've had him and I've recovered from my C-section. And I'm really being aggressive with my treatment. Like I said, I'm taking 1,000 milligrams of apple cider vinegar supplements. I'm taking serapeptase again. I'm back on that, yes. I have castor oil packs that I kind of slacked up, but I need to start using them usually when I sleep. I got a castor oil pack on Amazon, and you basically just wrap it almost like a waist straightener. So it just wraps it in the front, and then you just tie it around the little strings just go around you, and you tie it. And I sleep with that all night. And I noticed when I started using it for the first month before I stopped, my fibroids were actually, they were, I think they were shrinking, because the symptoms that I told you, the symptoms of shrinking fibroids, which I mentioned before, which is my hair. Don't do that, please. Which is a sharp pain in the abdomen that may be accompanied by swelling. I was feeling that a lot. I was feeling that a whole lot when I was doing the castor oil packs. So I need to get back on the castor oil packs because I want to be aggressive about this. I'm giving myself time. I'm just like, I told my husband, please, no more kids. He agrees to no more kids because specifically I want to focus on shrinking these fibroids. And today, if you watch my previous live, I did feel my fibroids start to do the same thing, that pain, the acute pain. I started feeling that even though I'm not doing the castor oil. I started feeling that from last night. And I've been taking these supplements, the apple cider 1,000 milligrams, for about a month now, a month or two, maybe 2 months now. So I know it's going to take a long time, but I want to do it in a natural way. So I'm willing to wait it out and be patient because it took years for these fibers to get to, the size that they are, like a football size. So it's going to take a long time to shrink them, but I just don't want to go under the knife again, right? I had a C-section about a year ago and almost lost my life. I lost half my blood, and I had needed transfusions. It was a scary time. My husband was terrified. He was so scared that he was going to have to be a single parent and obviously raise these kids by himself. So we are both in agreement that we're not having any more kids for sure. So yes, as you're watching this, if you have any questions, please feel free. I think the comments are on. Feel free to leave a comment and just ask me the question as I read through the other comments that were left here about my fibroids. Okay. Who was that? That was Cutlet. Cutlet, that was your question that I just answered. How much have your fibers shrunk? Okay. I'm leaving you a link so you can see this live. Okay, so Rain, I think her name is Rain. It's spelled Raine. So I think it is Rain. Is asking Oh, you're just saying thank you for the info. Oh, well, okay. Thank you for leaving that comment, and you're so welcome. You're so welcome. I'm just gonna leave you a link as well. You can check this out, and I'm sure you'll appreciate this content. So, and okay, next question, Elu. Elu, does cystic degenerative fibroid is end of fibroid? I would say it is their journey towards the end of the fibroid. Yes. I'm not sure. Let me just look this up real quick. So fibroid degeneration symptoms. Let's just cover that real quick. So you get longer, more frequent, or heavy menstrual period. Menstrual pain and cramps, which is what that I went through a lot of that during my first pregnancy when I told you guys I was in the hospital every week in pain, and they were just giving me morphine for it, which is just, again, a Band-Aid solution. It's not treating the actual cause, right, of the problem. Bleeding between periods, anemia. I had anemia, pain in the abdomen, lower back. I had all that pain during sex. I would say maybe a little bit difficult urinating. No, I didn't have that. But yes, I do think, just to answer your question real quick without getting too much into it, when I had the cystic degenerative fibroids, yes, it was because my fibroids were degenerating and they were dying just in a slower rate, just in a more natural way. But because at that time, I was still eating. Liam, cupcakes are not coming. The cupcakes are not coming. You better go. You're still making noise. Go downstairs, please. They just left. They almost gave us cupcakes and then they stopped.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, guys. So at that time, I was still eating meat. So it was a back and forth. Like, I'm trying to treat fibroids. I'm taking serapeptase. I'm taking all these herbal supplements to shrink them, but then I'm still eating the very thing that causes them. So it was like a push and pull. And I find that the worst type of degenerative fibroid pains that you go through is because it's such a slow progress, because you're taking a step forward trying to treat them and then 2 steps back. As soon as you eat that meat and dairy, you take 2 steps back. So it's like tug and pull, and that's what causes that insane degeneration, degeneration pain. And it's some of the worst pain you can ever go through. Like, I've been through labor. Okay, I didn't deliver vaginally, but just the labor pains, and I can tell you that those labor pains I was in for from 4 a.m. to like 7 p.m. They were horrible. Okay, they were horrible. Like, I applaud mothers, but I can tell you right now that fibroid degeneration was way more painful for me. When I have fibroid, oh, that was just on another level. That was just like, that was that not way more, but it was slightly more painful for me. And I guess all our experiences are different, but I'm just letting you know what I experienced. So yes, it is because it's not the end of the fibroids necessarily, but it is because your body is trying to get rid of the fibroids. Yes, but maybe you're not doing enough to help your body get rid of them. You're starting again. The cupcakes are going. Somebody just left and not leaving cupcakes for us anymore. So what you want to do is, like, I found I don't go through that degenerative pain anymore when I'm shrinking my fibroids, because I am on a plant-based diet. So what I would recommend for you is to go on a plant-based diet. It doesn't have to be permanent. For us, it is a permanent lifestyle because we've seen a lot of benefits for us, in so many ways. In so many ways.
Stop it, mommy.
Okay, sweetheart. I didn't do anything. Yeah, we've seen the benefits of that in so many ways, but at the same time, if you don't feel like you want to go plant-based for long, just go for a short period of time and see how, if that's gonna help you, in any way. It could be for 3 to 6 months, and see what that does for your fibroids. See what that does for the degeneration of your fibroids, if it's still as intense and it's still as painful. Because what you want to do essentially is get rid of that inflammation, because pain and inflammation are like this. They are best friends. Okay, they are best friends. How do you know you have inflammation in your body? One of the key ways that is known to if you have pain in your body, if you have how do you know you have inflammation in your body? If you have pain, anywhere you have pain, joint pain, that means there's inflammation there. Anywhere you have pain in your body, usually it means it's an indicator of some type of inflammation, because our bodies do create inflammation around whatever's wrong in your body. It creates inflammation to try to protect that area. So these foods that you keep pumping into your body's saying, well, I already have these growths in here that are not normal, right? They're not supposed to be in my body. And then you pump foods that cause inflammation. It just helps your body to create more inflammation around that thing, which is like your fibroids, right? So as you're Liam, no cupcakes, guys, no cupcakes for him today, right? Liam, you have a whole basement to play in, a whole basement full of so many amazing toys.
I love cupcakes.
Oh, but they're not giving us cupcakes. Are you guys giving him cupcakes with all the noises making? I don't think so. They said no. So yes, uh, keep that in mind when you're going through these cystic degenerative fibroids. When you're going through degeneration, just keep that in mind that sometimes you're working against yourself when you're trying to shrink your fibroids, taking herbal supplements, whatever it is that you're doing, but then you're still putting things that cause inflammation. Sorry, baby, you bumped your head. Like meat and dairy specifically, those are high inflammatory foods. High inflammatory foods. I hope that helps. I really hope that helps. Anyways, I'm gonna leave you a link as well, Elu, so that you see that I answer your question and you can watch this live when you get a chance. Okay, so Life by Design. Life by Design says, was about to say, I can't believe he's talking. That's him. Yes, he talks. He talks a lot, too much, as you can tell. But yeah, I love him. I absolutely love him. We've been through so much together, so much with this little pumpkin. Thank you, sweetheart. Oh, look, he gave me a flower. Thank you so much. And you got a good. Wow, thank you. Oh, I don't want this scary guy. Please, I don't want this scary guy. This one's pooping. This one's pooping. Can we keep it down? They're not giving us cupcakes. Oh, somebody said no cupcakes for you. No cupcakes. Okay, so Life by Design, yes. He does talk. As kids do, obviously, as they get older. But oh my goodness, these children. I'm trying to answer these questions, guys, because otherwise I'll never get to them. Hold on, baby. Hold on. So yeah. Okay. Oh, that must have hurt. Oh my goodness. Why are you fighting me? Oh, I'm sorry.
Take flower from Bobby. Take flower from Bobby. Take flower from Bobby. Take flower from Bobby.
I really want to take the time to answer these questions, so I'm going to just change them quickly because I think he had a little number 2, and I'll come and finish answering these questions. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments and I'll come and answer them. Okay, sorry. My baby.
Flower from Bobby. Flower from Bobby. Take flower from Mommy. Take flower from Bobby. 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 Take flower
It's your turn now. You can talk to them. Ask for cupcakes.
Can I have cupcakes? Can I have good cakes for your money? I'm happy. I
No, not like that. Sit down here and then talk. Sit down. Oh no, they left now. They left because you were doing that. No cupcakes. Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry, Bobby.
Well, it's too bad. You're the one who chased them away. They're gone now. There's nobody to give us cupcakes. You did that. No, not too close. That's too close. Don't you see? Nobody can see anything. It's like if I put something in front of your eyes like this, can you see anything? That's their eyes. Don't put anything too close. Otherwise, they can't see the flower if you put it right up against the camera like that. They can't see anything. That's why they went away when you were putting the Huggy Wuggy right in the camera. And they went. Now you're not getting cupcakes. You have to listen to mommy, okay?
Over
I know you
here.
just want to show them your flower and your toys.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What happened?
It didn't work to make them come back.
No. Because nobody likes to have things in their face like that. You wash my hands, something like that. I'll be right back, guys. And I gotta answer these questions, or they're just gonna keep accumulating and accumulating as they have been.
She's flying like a bird. How you going?
Should we stay? Excuse me, why are you barking? No, you're not going there. Go sit down on your bed. Guys, I have too many children. I'm sorry. I have too many children. Okay, like animals are they're essentially children. Like seriously. Anyways, we're back. And May asks for a new update. I'm not sure what she means by that. I'm just gonna put the link. Maybe this might answer her question. I don't know. One of the questions you guys asked might answer her question. Because I'm not too sure what she means by new update. Thanks for sharing. May I ask how big your fibroids were and what they are now? I'm trying a vegan diet now. Okay, how big they were about, I want to say 11 by, almost like 11 by 9 centimeters. The longest points were 11, 9, and I think 4. And because it's hard to it's not like rectangular, right? It's irregular. So it's basically that's what I know. That's what I know. That's the largest they were. And I think when I was pregnant with the second one, they actually got to 13 by something like 9 or 10 by like 4 or 5 or something like that. So they got even bigger with pregnancy. I don't know where they are now. Again, like I said, I had a C-section and I haven't had an ultrasound since I had the C-section. But I did start a fibroid treatment that I feel like it's I can't win. I put that one on the trampoline outside. He's jumping, but then this one's now screaming with excitement in here. So I put myself on this fibroid treatment, and I'm hoping that it's going to shrink them. And I feel the symptoms I'm feeling right now is that they're shrinking because I know I've been through them growing so much that I know the symptoms of them growing, and it's a different feeling. It's not the same, right? And I mentioned, just based on Google alone, it does distinctly define or or it clearly states the symptoms are different. Sometimes they might be, I don't know if they can be mistaken for each other, but for me, from my personal experience, I've never mistaken the feeling of my fibroids growing to the feeling of them shrinking. Just very different feelings. So yeah, I hope that answers that question. And yes, being plant-based and vegan has definitely helped with maintaining, basically not having any pain. I don't have any fibroid pain other than this when I'm feeling like they're shrinking and I have that sharp pain that I'm talking about that is typical for shrinking. Other than that, I don't have the typical fibroid. When you have large fibroids, it messes up your period. You have these heavy flows. You just get drenched. I remember changing my pad. I had to wear a, a tampon, 2 pads, and I would change those every hour at some point. And that time I was working and it was darn near impossible to get anything done at work when I'm constantly going to change. I was losing blood. The pain. Let me not tell you about the pain. The pain was excruciating. And especially when you're losing blood, then you're becoming anemic because you're losing blood, and that adds to the pain as well. My legs were constantly hurting. Those of you who worked with me before, I know some of you follow me, like my friend Sienna. Hi, Sienna, if you're watching. But I don't know if you remember me just complaining about my legs just being in excruciating in so much pain, my back hurting, and it wasn't from the work. It was just from these fibroids, these heavy fibroids, just draining me, draining the life out of me. So going plant-based definitely got rid of all of that. You can cut out so many problems, not just fibroid related. I cut out a lot of allergies. I don't have as many seasonal allergies. My asthma is not nearly even a problem as it was before. You can cut out so many problems by just going plant-based. So I hope that who asked this? Anna. Sorry, I forgot to read the question at first. But yeah. How do I reply to this? So yeah, I sent the link to these lives so you can watch this, Anna, when you see it. Okay, sis, my fibroid size is 8 centimeters. Oh, I feel you. The biggest I've had is 13, like I said. Okay, 8 centimeters. I'm not married yet, and going vegan will this help me? Yes. Like I just said, I literally just said it. Going vegan will definitely, by no stretch of the imagination, no doubt it will help you. You will, this struggle you're on to shrink your fibroids, you're going to do yourself a great service by just switching and going vegan, period. Before you even start with supplements, before you start taking anything else or exercising or anything else, just going vegan alone, just cutting out that meat, because like I mentioned before, that is the high inflammation food: meat, dairy. high inflammation food. They encourage inflammation in the body, right? And when you have this object in your body that your body's trying to get rid of because it's not supposed to be there, you don't want anything that's encouraging inflammation around it, because that just causes so much pain and so many problems that I wish women didn't have to go through. And this is why I do these videos, to help as many people as I can, because I know what's helped me, and this is a very, it's too common of a problem. We should have come up with a solution for this a long time ago. But obviously the industries that are making money off of selling their meats and selling things that are not good for us, they're making too much money and they don't want to talk about this. That's why the medical industry is not even updated on this to say, women with fibroids should not be eating meat at all. But no doctor's gonna tell you that. They're gonna tell you you're anemic, so eat more meat. Like my doctor told me, eat liver, eat this, is high in iron. Plant-based foods are high in iron, but they don't cause inflammation at the same time. I'm sorry, I get so passionate about this because it's a painful situation that more than 60% of women in the world are going through, and we're being misinformed every time we go to the hospital for help. The people that are supposed to be helping us are misinforming us because they're just not, well, they're not informed themselves. Their information, their education is not up to date. They still have education that's like 20 years old and they're using that today. But yeah, anyways, Priyanka is asking, have you done surgery to remove fibroids? No, and I will not. I absolutely will not go under the knife again. Like I told you at the beginning, my trust of the medical industry after my experience with my pregnancies, and especially as a woman of color, and Priyanka, I understand, I think because of your name, you are a woman of color, you will understand this. They don't listen to our pain. They don't value our opinions on our bodies when we say that we're in pain or we say what we think is causing that pain. They think they know everything and they think they know more than us. And because of that complex that they have as medical staff or as whatever, maybe it's racial, I don't know. But I assume that there's a lot of racial complex associated. But they think they know more. So a lot of times they ignore our pain. Am I having surgery? It's invasive. No, I will not have surgery until maybe if doing it naturally absolutely fails, maybe I might consider surgery, but I'm not going under the knife again. I've had, like I said, uterine artery embolization, which is a minor surgery. They go into your artery, put little beads to stop blood from going to the fibroids. But that's as minor, that's as much as I'm getting. If going natural absolutely fails me and I really need to, and I can't live with the fibroids and it's absolutely necessary, I'm not opposed to surgery. I will do the surgery. But at this point in my time, I'm vegan, I'm plant-based, I have no pain, my fibroids are there. At this point, it's just aesthetically. Like if you look at I'm wearing the wrong top, but aesthetically, no matter how much weight I lose, usually after pregnancies, like I lose weight like that. But no matter how much weight I lose, that little pouch, it's not fat. I know a lot of women do carry a lot of fat down here, but this is actually a fibroid. Can you see how my finger's stopping right there? Usually if you push on your stomach, it sinks. Your stomach sinks. My stomach does not sink because there is a hard fibroid right there. So for me, it's more aesthetically at this point that I just want to get rid of it. I don't want this thing in my body. I just don't want it anymore. So I'm not gonna risk, the risks of surgery. Sorry, I'm just putting my phone on the charger. And all the risks associated with surgery and such an invasive process. Anyway, I hope that answers your question, Priyanka. And I left you a link there, I think. Oh, Priyanka, again, thank you for your experience. Now I have multiple fibroids, 10 by 10 by 10. Now I'm 4 months. Please pray for me. Oh, and you're pregnant. Yes, they do get larger when you're pregnant, Priyanka. They do get larger when you're pregnant. And I wouldn't advise trying to attack them while you're pregnant. Just go through your pregnancy. What I can tell you is sometimes it feels like the pain and the fibroids you get worried about your baby, Don't worry about your baby. Your baby's gonna be fine. I was worried about my babies the whole time. They came out just fine, unaffected, completely unaffected. I was like, all that pain I was going through back and forth to the hospital, and these kids just come out all like la 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 la. Like they're fine. They didn't even know. It's like it didn't affect them at all. So yeah, just go through the pregnancy. As soon as you're done with your pregnancy, you have your baby and you're healed up, then just aggressively follow some of the things I'm doing, some of the recipes, food. Go plant-based if you aren't already. And the supplements that I'm taking, they really help to shrink fibroids. Priyanka, again, please reply. How long fibroids during delivery time? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I haven't had time to get to these comments because I have children, but I'm really trying to get to them. I hope I answered your first two questions. And how long fibroids during delivery? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I'm really not sure. I'm sorry, Priyanka. How long fibroids during delivery? During delivery, you're not thinking about your fibroids. You're thinking about getting your baby out. That's it. You just want to get your baby out. And yes, they are large. Maybe you mean how large were they by the time I delivered? Like I said, 13 by like 11 by something. They were pretty large. They're the largest that I had ever had them for the time that I was delivering. But I had a C-section, and because they're so large, you're more prone to bleeding. So make sure you're in a hospital that can give you blood transfusions. Make sure, don't go to a small hospital. Book your delivery with a big hospital, one that has enough a supply blood transfusion, that it has enough staff. That's the best thing that I can recommend to you. Okay, so Mesa, I hope I say that right. I thank God for finding your oh, thank you so much. And I really love that you're finding help with this, because that's my hope, to help as many women as possible, I It's so unfortunate that so much of us are going through this, so much. Mesa also said it works. Okay, so because you found my channel and then it works, you've tried it, that's good. I am so glad that this is working for you. I am so happy that this is working for you. PDX Bound 81. PDX Bound 81. This is such a great video. I love hearing your son enjoying life in the background. Ha ha ha. He's talking up a storm. Yes, my son is always talking up a storm. Thank you so much. Love you. Love you. Absolutely love you guys so much. Emmy, while I agree with you, what you are saying, veganism isn't a diet, it's a lifestyle. Yes. And I'm sorry if I've used that word diet. It is a lifestyle, because when you go plant-based or vegan, you have to make an entire lifestyle change, right, in order to sustain it. If you try to do it just as a diet, just like, I'm just dieting, when you diet, you just do it for a short time, it won't be sustainable. So yes, it has to be a lifestyle change. What happened? Did you bite something you're not supposed to bite? Let me help him quickly. I'll be back. Sorry, baby. Sorry. You bit this thing. Oh, boogers. Booger bubbles. Sorry, baby. I see. I have to finish because my phone's gonna die soon. You bit that. Yeah, you throw that there because that thing hurt you. You're not supposed to be biting that anyway. So yes, where was I? While I agree with you, veganism, yes, that's right. It is a lifestyle, definitely a lifestyle. And a lifestyle that I would add that it adds quality. It adds quality to your life. right? I mean, you could say, you can, some people argue that it's expensive to go vegan, blah, 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 but do you rather quantity or quality of life? Which one? Like, you could have quantity of food and whatever, and it's just junk food and things that are making you sick, and then your quality of life is poor. And no, that's also a myth. Going vegan is not expensive. It's not more expensive than being plant-based, if you know what you're doing. So if you want help, follow my vlogs. When I do vlogs on food that I cook, and you'll see I cook very inexpensive food, very inexpensive. So, Chime baby, do you eat fish? I'm plant-based, Chime. I think you're thinking of pescatarian. I know some people, you're not alone in this. I know a lot of people that think that when someone says they're vegan or vegetarian or whatever, that they eat fish. Isn't fish an animal? Is it not? People don't consider fish an animal. It's not a plant. A fish is not a plant, it's an animal. That means it has flesh. I don't eat anything that has flesh. I hope that answered your question. Okay, what else? Oatmeal, potatoes, brown rice. Yes, I eat all those things because I did my research and also listened to my body, and I know that oatmeal, potatoes, carbs, those things, even fruits, vegetables, they're not the cause of your fibroids, they're not the cause of your inflammation. The meat you're eating, the fish, the chicken, the pork, the beef, the whatever, anything that has eyes that blink like this, that has a respiratory system, that has a brain, and anything that's alive that is the flesh. If you're eating flesh, you're going to have issues with inflammation. Sorry, but yeah, here's the link. Okay, how many times? I'm an hour 21. Sorry, this is very long because there's a lot of question. Nat, thanks for sharing. Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Muchas. No, I'm reading the wrong part. Okay, Los Magnifico, Cuba. Muchas gracias, señora. I used to know how to respond to this. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. My I'm sorry, my Spanish is really bad now. I've forgotten so much. Okay, Anne. Yes, Liam. Job well done, and congratulations on shrinking your fibroids. Thank you, thank you. Still a work in progress. It doesn't happen overnight. It does not happen overnight, right? Anne. Oh, same Anne. Okay, great video. Thank you for sharing your story. You're so welcome, Anne. Queen Pluto, how did this work for you? It's working amazingly. It is working amazingly. I really highly recommend it. I really do. I don't want to see women in pain because it's something that can be treated, easily treated naturally, and even prevented with the right diet. We can even prevent this if we go plant-based from young. If you have young daughters, let them go plant-based. Then they don't have to suffer like we're suffering. Faye, thanks for your video. How big were your fibroids? I mentioned that already. I did. If you watch this live, I'll leave the link. You will see the answer to that because somebody else asked that question already. So I don't know how longer this live can be. So I'm gonna do this really quickly. Sesame is good for fibroids. Anything plant-based is good for fibroids. What's not good for fibroids, this is Michelle. What's not good for fibroids is meat and dairy. They're high inflammatory foods. And that's what really causes the problem. Not sesame, not anything plant-based. Velvet, this was great. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Velvet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you guys. Love you guys so much. And sorry, I'm only just getting to these comments now. I'm just gonna keep doing the live until it turns off, until it shuts off by itself. So if I don't get to say goodbye, I love you guys so much. But let me finish answering these questions real quick. Abina, please can you help me how to mix the green tea and stuff? Gotta watch my videos. You gotta watch my videos. If you want help with the teas that are good for shrinking fibroids, it's too long for me to go through right now in this live, just way too long. I will have to do more videos about that. Please, is there any way you can help out with a food plan to assist people? Okay, I'll work on a food plan. If that helps you guys, I will definitely work on a food plan. So to help people like us who are confused about the whole thing, even if you start with some food plan, that would cover up to 2 weeks to start with. Okay, and that's Sessa. I want to say Sessa John. All right, I will work on a food plan for you guys. If that helps you, no problem, not an issue. Bridget Mumba, I remember it in your other video, you kept short hair, but I think even long hair looks good on you. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Love you. Absolutely love you. Hiya, baby. Na, na, na. I know, mommy's trying to go through these really fast. Great. You want to go play now? Okay. So Elvis, great video, but please, why not find a place to keep the phone so as to make the video steady? Absolutely right. Absolutely right. I used to have that issue, just walking around with my phone and stuff. I am trying more now to get the right equipment and stuff. So hopefully it's steady today because I haven't touched it. Not really, except for when I put it on the charger because the battery was low. But yeah, thank you anyways for that comment. Who is this? Empress Oracle 777. Thank you. You know what? Let's give you this. This one. This one is better. This is safer. Okay. Okay, so thank you. This was a very informative and encouraging video. Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. I love you guys so much. I love these questions. How many serapeptase capsules did you take at the time? Let's see. When I first started, I would take like as many as possible, like four supplements a day. I was very aggressive with it when I started. Now I just take one, but I take 2 500 milligrams of apple cider vinegar supplements because I find that, you know, I want to try that with apple cider vinegar because I've heard a lot of good results for shrinking fibroids with that, so I'm trying that instead of just loading up on the serapeptase. Not that I haven't had the serapeptase as any kind of side effects. It's just a natural enzymic supplement, and with enzymes, whatever you don't use, you just pee it out, right? This is good info. How long did you take Vitex? Okay, so Vitex is what I started taking when my periods were irregular and just bleeding out like crazy, and they help to control those. But I find that's a short-term it helps a lot. It's a short-term thing though. You want to address the root cause of the problem. So if it's enlarged fibroids, you want to start doing things that shrink the fibroids. So follow these videos. I'll leave a link to this live, and go plant-based as well. That will help the most. The utmost help will come from just going plant-based. Vitex is just something that helps symptomatic in the moment. And what else here? Fidere Omolayo. I can say sugar from fruit is not as bad as the refined sugar itself. Of course, sugar from fruit is your body's designed, your genes recognize. Because when you eat food, it has its own genetic code that your body's genes read in order to incorporate whatever nutrients and things that it needs for its building blocks from that food. So yes, sugar from fruits is a natural thing that our body identifies. The refined sugar, it's I would say the DNA structure has already kind of changed because of the processing. So your body doesn't even recognize it on a genetic level very well. It doesn't know how to use it, so it just becomes waste and fat and usually what your body can't use, it'll just, if it can't flush it out, it'll turn it into fat. So yeah, that's awesome. That's an awesome point that you made there. And that's why I say don't be afraid of eating your fruits. Your fruits are gonna help you to detox all that waste. They're gonna help your they're gonna help you even on a genetic level, right? To regenerate your genes, your skin, your all your cells in your body. So don't avoid fruits because you have fibroids. Avoid meat and dairy. Okay, very honest information. Most people come here to talk as if it disappeared completely. No, it won't. Even after birth, they still remain. They still remain. It can only strix. Oh, it can only shrink. I think that's what they mean, and give room for the baby to grow via what we eat. Yes, for there, that is true. It doesn't completely. It takes a long time because it took a long time for them to grow. So it's gonna take a long time for them to disappear. So for a long time they will just shrink. And what you eat does influence how much shrinkage you get. So of course, you're absolutely right. Mary, any updates on the fibroids? Also, do you eat tofu or soy products? Mary, updates on the fibroids. I'm currently shrinking my fibroids. I rarely eat tofu. I rarely eat soy products, just because personally, when I drink like soy milk, I don't know if it's just a specific brand, but anytime I drink soy milk, it messes up my hormones. Because even if I've noticed if my period was not scheduled then, or I just even got off my period, as soon as I drink the soy milk, my period starts again. Or maybe it's bleeding, I don't know. I've just had a bad experience with soy. So I do eat some soy products. I find the foods don't affect me, the soy-based foods, they don't affect me the same as that soy milk. But as a general rule, I just try to avoid soy because I don't know where it's coming from. In some places, they don't grow it ethically, they don't grow it in a good way, they don't process it in a healthy way. Usually, when you're drinking soy, it's one of my phones died, so I have to go now. When you're substituting with soy, it's a processed food, right? So processed food in general, just try to eat in moderation. So I'll just finish this video on here since my other phone died. So you guys, if you guys were catching me here on my Facebook Live, just come on my YouTube Live to finish this video. Another Maya. Thank you for the videos. Did you exercise as well to help shrinking? While I was pregnant, no, because I was in pain with my first pregnancy. Second pregnancy, not really, because I was so busy with a toddler and being pregnant that it was enough exercise just walking up and down the street, going to the playground every day, playing with him, taking care of him while I was pregnant. So I wasn't doing purposeful exercising. It was just that my life was a workout. Am I exercising now? Yes, definitely. And I encourage that people exercise, especially if you have fibroids. That helps with detoxing and getting all that waste out of your body that is helping to build those fibroids and keeping them alive. Okay? Thanks so much for this. You're so welcome, Pamela 01. You're so welcome, and I hope you're doing well. Nakilanda Salma. Very good information. How do you know that the fibroids are shrinking? Like I said, the symptoms of fibroids, there's specific symptoms of fibroids shrinking. I will read them right now off the Google. Acute pain, most common symptoms, a sharp pain in the abdomen that may be accompanied by swelling. Chronic pain, less severe, lasting pelvic pain. Fever, often during pregnancy, may be mild. Bleeding may be severe. Temporary elevation in the white blood cell count. So those are the symptoms, which are very different from the fibroids growing, because fibroids growing is heavy menstrual bleeding, menstrual period lasting more than a week, pelvic pressure, that one's a little similar, frequent urination, difficulty emptying the bladder, constipation, backache, and leg pain, which I had most of those when my fibroids were growing. So that's how I know that right now they're shrinking, right? Because I have very different symptoms now. I hope that answered your question. If anything, just check out this live and my other videos. I'm going to try to do more videos on this. Nubian 31. I am 8 weeks pregnant and just found out I have multiple fibroids. Thank you for posting your videos. You're so welcome. Nubian 80. Nubian 31. Sorry, not 81. I'm not wearing my glasses. That's why I can't read. Hi, glad you're better. Where was the largest fibroid located? On the fundus. So that's above my uterus. So if your uterus, I'm gonna use you as my model then. If your uterus is down here, your fundus is anywhere on top of your uterus. That's where mine was. Okay. Myra, thank you for the video. What happened on April ultrasound? Did you continue to shrink? Okay, so the April ultrasound, did I end up having? I don't think I ended up getting to do it. April ultrasound. What happened then? My doctor left. And I couldn't get it done because she does not practice in her office anymore, and she was the best doctor in our area for dealing with these fibroids. And I just decided, you know what? My family doctor just had different opinions on how to obviously proceed with this, and he's the one who recommended the uterine artery embolization that I ended up getting. So I still didn't know how large they were until I was pregnant, and they had by the time I got pregnant, that was 2020 at that point. They had shrunk a little bit, but then they got bigger again, like I mentioned before, because I was pregnant. And now they're shrinking again because I'm not pregnant. So I hope that answers it. Laura, the window's open. Thank you. I saw your first video about fibroids. Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Thank you. I'm just experiencing symptoms of fibroids. Ultrasound reveals I have. What's wrong? You lost your ball? Sorry, guys. I have a mild cold. All these guys, my kids and I, we all have mild colds. Oh, look at you. Okay. So thank you. I'm experiencing symptoms of fibroids. Ultrasound reveals I have fibroids. I'm experiencing bloating, spotting, and constipation. It is time for me to move towards a plant-based diet. I've cut out dairy. I just need to eat fresh food and no processed food. Yes, I highly recommend that. So do that, please do that. If you need any help, if you want any recipes, I can share recipes with you. Just again, leave a comment and let me know what you want to know. I will try to come up with a food plan too. Oh my goodness, guys, I'm sorry, there's a lot of comments. Charmichael3. Thanks for sharing information about shrinking fibroids. Your baby is so adorable. Thank you so much. That is awesome. Very informative. I am looking into going vegan. Please do. Please, 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 please do. And that was Lisette. Lisette. Please do go vegan and let me know how that goes for you. Bridget Mumba, again, are you on Instagram and what is your name on that page? Same name as this channel, Peachy Pintello with 1 L. A lot of people think it's Italian, so they put 2 L's. Mwandinga. Thanks for the information. Very helpful. You are so welcome. You're so welcome. And check out my live. Chewy, please stop. Please stop. Thank you very much, but can you tell us how to be healthy vegans? Yes. Yes, that's easy. Very, very, very short statement. Whole food, plant-based. 4 words. Whole food, plant-based. That is the healthiest way to be vegan. Chewy, can you stop barking? You're not going outside because you're going to run into the neighbor's yard. No, go sit down. Go sit down. On your bed. On your bed. On your bed. On your bed. Hurry up. Me needs to finish this video. Juan, hi there. How many fibroids did you have, and were you a strict bed rest or anything? I have a few and I'm currently 4 weeks pregnant. It's going smooth. I was on strict bed rest because I had multiple fibroids, but the largest one was the one that was causing me the most issues. Otherwise, I had multiple ones, just scattered all over my uterus. Luckily, it was on the outside of my uterus, so it didn't interfere with the inside. But even if you have outside, inside, these tips are going to help you either way. And yes, I had to stay in bed for the whole entire pregnancy. But after I noticed my second pregnancy, I wasn't on strict bed rest because I was plant-based by then. I had been plant-based for 3 years after that, and my body was starting to heal, so I didn't go through nearly the same amount of pain and issues as I did with the first pregnancy. It was just a delivery that was hard because I still had a fibroid that grew because of hormones changing when you're pregnant, and that caused me to bleed like hell. Lisa, hi, thanks for sharing your video. How did your last appointment go? Good news, I hope. Can't wait for the update. Again, my last appointment, I think the one you're referring to is the one where my doctor ended up, I got a letter in the mail before I had to go get my ultrasound, and she had left, so I went to my family doctor. He got me to get uterine artery embolization, and that's helped to calcify my fibroids. And now I'm working on shrinking those calcified fibroids. So, hope that answers that. Moonlight sadness. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't be sad. Thanks so much for sharing. Hope it works. Yes, it is actually working. And it just needs time and patience. That's all it is. Time and patience. And knowledge of all truth. Any news? Yeah, okay, I guess this is also, I answered this already. Just watch this live. When shrinking fibroids, can one take clear honey, or is that still sugar? You can technically you can, because it's not like refined sugar. The reason I don't take it is because, like I said, plant-based is a lifestyle. So there's other nuances that end up influencing you not to eat any animal-based foods, and honey technically is animal-based. It's insect-based. It comes from bees, and usually bees make honey for their winter. That's what they make so that when they're hibernating in the winter, when they can't collect nectar from flowers, that's what they eat and they feed their queen for them to survive. So when we take their honey, that actually puts them in a disadvantage and a risk for them surviving. And that's why we see the decline of bees. People are saying, why are bees declining? Why is bee population declining? Well, human beings are eating their honey. People are like, oh, it's climate change, it's climate change. It's also because human beings are eating their honey. So because of that fact that I, educated myself and learned about, even though it might not affect my fibroids, why eat it? There's maple syrup, if you really want a syrup. But it's up to you what you want to do in those regards. It's just based on my own education, and again, it's a lifestyle, right? I am also pregnant. Who is this? Cabicus 19. A lot of people are pregnant, oh my gosh, with fibroids and suffering with everyday constipation. I am so sorry to hear that. I'm so, so, so sorry. I hope you get better. I'm just gonna leave links, please, what I can use to cure fibroids in pregnancy. Try to treat your fibroids after pregnancy. That's the best thing to do, okay? You can only do so much while you're pregnant because you have all these pregnancy hormones that are fighting against you. And it's kind of like when you're eating meat and the hormones in the meat and the, inflammation causing effects of meat is all fighting against you. So, yeah. I'm okay. Okay, I'm in a situation, but not in pain. How big are your fibroids? I already answered that. So, okay, guys, I'm gonna go because I feel like a lot of the next questions that are coming up are repeats of what we already covered. Thank you for sharing your Mother Nature knows best. You're welcome. So I'm just gonna leave links for the rest of these guys so they can see these ladies, so they can see that we already answered these questions on this live. And then yeah, if you have any more questions, just keep leaving those questions. I will really try my best to keep up to date with them and answer them as much as possible. I'll try to do a lot more question answers these days. And see you guys later. Ciao.